What's going on, my good people? Welcome back to another week. Now listen to me. I want to talk to you about a house brand Montgomery Ward called Airline. Let's just put it on the table, man. Airline, right? Airline. Now, I say Airline guitar, and like 97% of you people think about the White Stripes, dude. With that Valco guitar from Chicago, made out of reso glass. I almost had one of those, by the way. In the early eBay days. I think it was the year 2000, something like that, right? It would have been 99. This is even before I knew about the White Stripes, I believe. You know what I mean? Before anybody did. I just wanted one of them guitars. It was $150 on eBay, man. But I didn't want to miss the Sopranos, man. Can you believe that, man? I watched the episode of Sopranos instead of bidding on a guitar that could have changed my life. Fuck! And I can see the episode of Sopranos anytime I want it right now. Can I get, a Valco Airline reso glass guitar for $150? An original? In kind of fucked up condition, but still like almost complete? I think not, man. I think not. It's not going to happen. Anyway, let's still talk about airlines. Because you all got me all fired up by the airline, you know what I mean? Montgomery Ward shit. House brand, Montgomery Ward's big catalog kind of thing like Sears. Sears is neck and neck with them all through the, the 20th century, man. Sears beat them, but for what? Eventually lost everything anyway. Montgomery Ward, their house brand, their silver tone, if it will be. Airline, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot of airline guitars produced, and a lot of the acoustic stuff went to Kay, man. Kay was like the catalog people for everybody else, but a lot of things that are identified as K's aren't really K's, man. Here's an airline right here. I picked up at the flea market. How much did I pay for it? I think I bartered with the surfer dude, man, the skater dude, man. I believe that he wanted $50 for it. I think I might have paid like $25, $30 for it. I don't even recall. It's been sitting around in the workshop for a little while. You know what I mean? It's been at the bottom of the guitars. I finally have seen the light. Bottom of the pile, man. Ooh, look at this airline I forgot about. This pickguard, I believe, has been painted red at one point, and then it was painted black. It was originally white. This is what they call a orchestra model. Serial number L7597, if that means anything to you. I don't know. We'll look into it, man. But it's an airline. It's very, very nice. It's got a bolt-on neck, so we'll get some nice action out of it. I'll show you real quick before I put you in the slab. I want to do you justice, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to do you justice, man. You feel good now? You feel better about yourself anyway? It's all about you and how you feel. You know what I mean? Because if you're not feeling right, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's flip you around for real now. For real. So here we are, folks. We got the airline on the slab. Now, at first glance, the guitar looks like it doesn't really need too much work. I say that every week, and I always stretch it out to like an hour long, babbling on about bullshit. Major things that need to be taken care of. This is broken off. This is broken off. This action is horribly high. Horribly high. Luckily, as I said before, it is a bolt-on neck, so we just shim that up. It's got some nice Kluson tuners on there. Those are worth at least $50 all day, even though they're bent. You can actually bend them back, but I'm not even going to bother. Because if I break them, I'm going to get all pissed off. I don't like feeling pissed off, you know what I'm saying, man? I don't like that feeling, man. I like to feel happy. So the tuners are functional, but a little bent. Not as good. That's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Paint is pretty good. Cosmetically. You know what I mean? There's no cracks in the wood. There's no major, you know what I'm saying? Flaws in the guitar from a structural standpoint, you know what I mean? All the glue inside sounds good. Sounds like a nice instrument. So, first and foremost, what we're going to do is we're going to take off this pickguard. Because as I told you in our little intro video there, it's been painted a million times. It was originally white. I saw a couple of these on the internet. I believe this is called a concert. You know what I mean? Auditorium size or something like that. I think those are pretty much just descriptions given by the sellers. I don't think that was actually a, you know what I mean, a K designation for the airline, particular line. So we're going to take this off. I guarantee the back of it's going to be white. And we're going to, I guess, sand this off. Because I don't want to use any kind of, you know, if it's made out of plastic, you know what I mean. Paint removal will melt that plastic, you know, all fucked up looking. So we'll take that off. See you in the laboratory. Do a little bit of work. Dance around a bit. You know, we need to glue this down. You know what I mean? Got a couple things to do. A couple things to keep you occupied for this wonderful November frosty moments, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see you in the laboratory, man. Peace be with you. Look after yourself. So we're in the laboratory. Got this thing off. And sure enough, I was right, man. I'm always right, people. Get that through your nogs. So I was even righter about the colors. It looks like somebody originally painted it red. And then painted it black. Now the red might have been some kind of, like, you know what I mean, spray paint maybe. I don't know. Looks like they, you know, oversprayed here. Maybe messed it up. I don't know what they did. You can see, like, splatter. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what kind of paints either of these are. The black looks like it's acrylic. Flat. You know what I mean? Don't know. But we got to be real careful trying to clean this guy off. And that's why I took it off first. Because there's all kinds of other little things that we got to do to this. You know what I mean? Not all kinds. So don't worry. It's not going to be that long of an episode. But this is one we want to start with because A, you know what I mean, it might take a long time, and B, I don't really know what I'm going to do. So let's try to first just wash this off with, like, water and soap, you know what I mean? And then maybe a little bit of rubbing alcohol, you know, so we don't want to really put any solvents on this, you know, or acetone is going to, you know, disintegrate the plastic, and, you know, all the other, you know, paint removers might likely do that as well. So let's try to wash this and see where we get, you know what I mean? 60-year-old plastic, you got to be real careful, people. Very, very careful. Very brittle. All right, so as forecasted, the strength of just rubbing alcohol on a rag took off all that black paint. I think I ruined one of my favorite rags, man. So what we're going to try to do now is we want to get this red off because it looks like Clown Town. You know what I'm saying? Looks like it was originally painted red to cover up some serious scratches on the pickguard. Looked like they were done there intentionally. You know what I mean? Some idiot kid, you know what I mean, in the late 50s got this guitar, you know what I mean, for Christmas. Ooh, this is a scratch guard? Is it scratch resistant? Let me scratch one of my Davy Crockett knives on it, you know what I mean? Anyway, I think that's what happened here. That's not a pick wear, you know what I mean? That's an idiot wear. So let's take this, man. Work a little bit of rubbing alcohol on there, man. Try to get this shit off, man. Get it off! Fucker! See that, man? There's a lot of elbow grease, man. That red paint was disgusting. It was just hard to get off. It was like, you know what I mean? Like I murdered a small animal on my workbench after I got it off. There was so much red all over my hands and all over the rags, and the bench was just, you know what I mean, frightful. Anyway, we see that there's a little crack here. See that? From the back you can see there's like a crack system. So we're going to pump a little bit of crazy glue into that crack system. We're going to put a piece of tape on the front of it so the glue doesn't run to the front. Just let that set for a couple hours, you know, and dry off. Let all the, you know what I mean, solvent sort of get off there, and then we'll eventually polish it. You know what I mean, before we put it back on the guitar. So now that that's pretty much taken care of, I've told you what I'm going to do with it. Let's take off these strings, man. This is a perfect example of why you should not leave a guitar unplayed at pitch for a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? Look at that, you know what I mean, action. That's all because, you know what I mean, it's up to pitch, you know what I mean. The cowboy chords, it's alright still, you know what I mean. But up here, you know, past like the 5th fret, forget it. It's like trying to play like, you know what I mean, a string bass or something, man. It's real, real far off the fretboard, man. So, let's take off these strings, man. Investigate what we got to do to this guitar. See you in a moment. This is going to be, you know what I mean, daunting to try to get this thing out. But I showed you how to do that before. Push it from the back. If you can't push it from the back, then you're going to have to drill it out. Loosen it first. See you after we're all de-strang. Alright, so we got all those strings out, man. We put these strings aside. These are actually old set of Thomas silk strings, man. You know what I'm saying? Probably from the 60s. See those red wraps at the bottom, man? These are excellent, excellent strings. They're barely used, man. Barely even used, man. Pop that G. And they're like, fuck it. I'm not going to play guitar no more. We're still in tune, really. Says something about them old Kluson tuner. So we got all those bridge pins out without damaging anymore, man. Looks like he's already got 2 replacements. See these 2? They're slightly tan. See how they have like different grooves going in there, you know what I'm saying? These have been already replaced, so you know what I mean. This is a little piece. They're a good trick for getting these out, man, because a lot of people have drill them out. Hey, I'm gonna drill it out, man. It's a pain in the ass, man, drilling it out. Best thing to do is just like, you know, especially if there's still a string in there, you push the string back. Pushing the string will loosen this thing, and you just push this thing out. Put your finger on it there, and just push it out, man. If you can get your fat arm in the sound hole, man. You fat fuck, stop eating so many goddamn sandwiches all the time, man. And you can do that with that big fat arm of yours. Anyway, people, so we're going to put the stuff aside. You know what I mean? One thing I want to do, you know, remind you, when you're pulling out old bridge pins, be very careful, especially if you see one broken off like this. It means that they're going to be kind of brittle. These are some tools. This comes with like a lot of Amazon bridge pin sets. You know what I mean? Freebie tool. It's kind of okay. But the best one is this, man. At the bottom of these old winders, man. You can get these real cheap. Back in the day, man, when I was like 16, had one of these. It was like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Jerk off lefty, man. This is crazy, you know what I'm saying? If it's not deep enough, you can make it a little deeper with a rat tail file, man. It's like, you know what I mean? Ready to rock and roll. You know what I mean? You can use this kind of a spaghetti boat together. Hey, munja, we pull out the bridge pin without breaking it. You know what I'm saying? Little tips, man. I'm trying to pass along some knowledge. You didn't need to hear about that. Then forget about us talking about it. We'll put all this stuff away. Except for this broken one. I'm not a fucking hoarder, bro. I'm not a hoarder. This guy gets thrown away, man. Fuck him, man. We throw him back there. Anyway, man. What else are we to do, man? We talked a little bit, blah, blah, blah. We're going to want to repair this thing. That's going to be our next thing. But essentially, you know, we're going to have to take off this neck anyway to put in that little fucking... You know what I'm saying? So let's unscrew the neck. You know what I'm saying? And start working on this. I'll see you when we've decapitated this old gal. Don't do it, Marie Antoinette. Let that meat shake and bake. Here we go, man. Let's get with this body. Now, I said I was going to do this. Well, we're going to do that. Probably let it sit overnight. But we're going to have to manhandle the guitar to get this fucking thing out. Because this thing we're going to have to drill out. There's no way, you know what I mean? Oh, it's just not long enough. You know what I mean? It's not like get a stick in there or something like that, push it out. So I'm basically going to have to drill this guy out. So the way you drill it out, man, is an unfortunate method, which I'm sure you understand. But if you don't, man, you take a drill, right? I got a little bit on here. It's probably like a 5/64, right about, man, something like that. I got some nice, real coarse sheetrock screws here, man. These are real coarse thread, man. See what I'm saying, right? We'll just drill that little hole in there, man. This guy's like real self-tapping, man. And get him in there, I don't know. I just want to get the head in there. Oh! And pull it out, man. Pull it out as soon as I get it in there. Wish me luck, man. See you in a moment. This moment was brought to you by Bobby G, man. See that, man? The old sheetrock screw did a great job, man, extracting that big old fucking hunk of burning shit. Now we're gonna put some tight bond in here, man. Tape it up with some masking tape. Let it sit overnight, man. Take a load off, Annie. Take a load for free. You put the load right on me. There you have it. All taped up, man. A lot of tight bond in there. Pull these pieces of masking tape real tight like an E-man. Put a little bit of tape on this, little glue in there. Seemed like it was a little bit. You want everything to be in good condition. So we're going to let this set overnight, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm rip-roaring ready to go, man. Let's focus our attention now on that old neck. Yeah, now it's time to get naked. Let's do some necking, baby. Let's take a better look at this now. I looked at it a couple seconds ago, man. Looks like somebody was playing slide on it. Look at that wear on it. Probably the action was just so damn bad. Wearing the first 3-4 frets. You know what I mean? It's taking a lot of it off, man. Practically flat. but it's definitely looks like slide wear. I mean, looks like slide wear. Oh, that's someone just taking a file, man. I don't know why they would do that. Who knows, man? Who knows, man? Who knows what lurks in the hearts of men, man? Oh, so we're talking before, going on with our examination of this particular neck about these here tuners. I mean, these tuners are, you know what I'm saying, just like that Pennsylvania guitar from last week. And these tuners, these are like single lines, Klusons, you know what I'm saying? It dates it between, I think, 56 and 64, I think. I'm pretty sure, man. I don't know. You can look at Encyclopedia Britannica, man. I don't know what to tell you. I've told you about this, man. You know what I mean? Kind of bummed me out, man. So I'm actually going to bite the bullet, man. Put a little piece of, like, cloth around there and try to bend it back, man. I know I might come back with crying, like, oh, I fucked up. I'm perfectly bad. Perfectly functional. It just bothers me, man. I'm trying to bend it back a little bit. I'll see, hot flash, man. Hot flash. See that? Do you see that? Just improve the value of these by like 70%, man. You know what I'm saying? Now they're valuable, man. Definitely more valuable than the guitar. So what I did was I just wrapped a piece of masking tape around the shaft so I didn't get them all gummed up, and I used these old 115-year-old, you know what I mean? These two, you know what I mean? Super pliers, man. You know what I mean? It was great, man. It was great. It's like Russian roulette, though, man. You can either fix it, you gotta get real strong, or you break it. I've had, an equal 50-50, man, in my history, man. So you're seeing this video, so I actually fixed it. Otherwise, I'd be like, fuck. You know what I mean? Anyway, here we are, man. We gotta do a fret job on this fucking old girl. So let's do that, man. Let's do the best we can. Try to shape them up or ship them out, people. So, fresh moment. Yeah, we all fretted out, man. I got those frets for you, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty good at doing a fret job. These frets were real fucked up. We got them okay, man. You know what I'm saying? Good enough, man. They were really bad. Doing the fret job is the part I fret the most. I don't really like doing it, man. My boy said he had a friend that was a locksmith, and he was cutting keys all day. He's dealing with all the little metal powder. And when you know what I mean, do the fret job, there's all this metal powder all over the fretboard. You know what I'm saying? And he said the dude went and got like an X-ray radiogram or something done to his hand. And they found all kinds of metal powder, embedded in the tendons in his fingers and all this other shit, man. He said they hold a strong magnet to his hand and it's stuck there, man. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's not good, man. I think about that every time I do a fret job and I see that metal dust. Thanks a lot, theory. Anyway, man, so after I was done, man, I took some mineral oil, put it on some fine gray steel wool, did a little bit of final, you know what I mean, messing around. I had a nice round over in here with a miller's file before we greased it up, man, you know what I'm saying. Followed it up with like a sponge sander on the side, 200. So it's nice, man. We're going to let this set, you know what I mean, for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes. Wipe it off, man, and then we'll wait till tomorrow after that tight bond's set, and we'll go back to the body, man. Till then, peace be with you, man. Peace be with you. All right, so we pulled the tape off. Did a good job. It's flush with the body. It's nice, man. A little bit of glue residue around here. Let's clean it off with some water, and then hit this guy up with some old furniture polish. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Let's do it. See you in a moment. Look at that, man. Nice and clean. When I was trying to get down and clean, I saw a lot of like little patches of goo and scum on it, man. I don't know what the hell it all was, man. We got it off, man. Likewise, on the sides here, there's a lot of places where it's been banged into, like, white painted walls. You know what I mean? So we had to take that off. We used a magic erase sponge. A little bit of furniture polish. You know what I mean? Got it off, man. Got it off. Then we used some polishing compound and got it all sheened up again. Sheened up again. So let's put this guy back on hold, man. And let's go focus our attention on that old neck. Alright, so last night before we retired, we wiped off all the excess grease, and slowly, over the course of today, we've been sort of wiping off any like pockets that come out. So it's all dried now, and it's nice and sheen and shiny. Now the first thing I want to do before we continue our little sheen and shining process on this old gal here, I want to take a little bit of a furniture marker to this wear on this, headstock front and back. There's not too much wear really on the body, but this looks like, you know what I mean, it was dragged, behind the car with Marty McFly, man. You know what I'm saying? Something happened, man. So we're going to just get, you know what I mean, clean that up a little bit, you know what I mean, darken it up first off and foremost. See you in a moment. Now bear in mind that the brown, you know what I mean, furniture markers are not as effective as the black ones, so don't cry if it doesn't look great. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look as bad as it did, though. It's a good thing. So one more cosmetic tip before we start buffing and creaming stuff up. See this? Someone like put like a little piece of snot on the back of this tuner like 60 years ago. Now it's petrified, man. It's a fossil. See that fossil? We don't want that there. But you see this little hole in here? This little oil hole? That's designed. These holes are designed by Kluson, so you can go in there and put a little oil in there in case it's not rough. Just so you know, man. So we're gonna want to take one of these steel brushes, and I got a brass brush, and I got a little piece of, you know what I mean, steel whirl. We're gonna want to polish it off, but we want to hold it this way, so nothing of that stuff gets in that little hole. You see that little hole, man? We don't want to get inside your hole, man. Don't need no unexpected pregnancy on this guitar, man. I'll see when that's all clean. Do you see that? Do you see that? A little bit of pitting. But it looks wonderful, man. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I've increased the value of these tuners by almost 100,000%. Anyway, so I got a little bit of WD-40 here. Got the straw in there. Gonna spray it into this here rag. All right, and then I'm gonna very carefully apply it to these tuners. I don't want to get it on the wood though. Just carefully apply it. A little bit of rust reformation. You know what I mean? Then I'm gonna clamp on that nut when I'm done with that. Look at that. It's great. It's great. So I'll see when we're done clamping on the nut, and we'll talk then, man. Peace. Alright, so we've had that nut clamped on for a good 12 hours now. You're real gentle taking these guys off, man. You don't want to compromise that nut, man. Hey, man, don't compromise my nut, bitch. So this thing's dirty, man. We got to get it cleaned up, man. We got to get that furniture polished. Working, man. Working, man. This guitar, like I said, man, it's covered with like this weird scum, man. Every now and then there's like a patch of this jizz. I don't know what the fuck it is, man. Polish that off, man, with that furniture polish, man. I don't like it. Don't like anybody jizzing on my guitar other than me. It's like the Half Mile High Club, man. Clean as a whistle horse. All free of all miscellaneous substances. Looking purdy. Purdy. So now we're almost ready to rejoin, man. Let's polish. Let's put a little bit of polish on this, man. Polish and compoundius. Polish this up a little bit, man. Now's the time, man. Now's the time. Peace be with you. That's what I'm talking about. Not too shiny, but a little bit of sheeny. This is a real old piece of plastic that's been abused with who knows what kind of paint. Glad it still exists, man. Glad it still exists. We'll get a little bit more sheeny in the next step here. Now we got some cleaner wax. We got some butcher's wax. We're going to put the butcher's wax exclusively on the rosewood portion here, man. Just there. That's the only place we're going to put it, man. The rest of everything, we're going to put a little bit of Mom's Cleaner car wax on there, man. We're going to put it on here, right? We're going to put it on here, right? We're going to put it on here before we screw that thing down. Right, we're going to put it all on the back here, right? We're going to put it on the headstock. We're going to put it on behind the neck, and we're going to put it everywhere where there's some sheen. They're all super sheen, man. Do it this, man. So this just here, and this everywhere. Everywhere. And then we're going to screw this thing on here. You know what I'm saying? We'll give it a little bit more wax. So we get, accustomed. A custom braided, man. Since this is rose hood, we're going to actually put a little bit of... We'll put a little bit of butcher's wax on that too, man, because it's rose hood. Rose hood. You know what I'm saying? Would she? I guess so. She's known for it. I'll see you when we're all super sheeny. Look at that glimmery gloss. Look at it glisten. Almost like a mirror-like shine. In fact, I'm wearing my shades right now so I can protect my irises from the glistening beauty. Yeah, man. Shining like it left the factory, man. Back in the K day, man. So let's discuss this hole on your bottom. What's that do? We remember what we fished out of there, man. Well, I got a whole drawer here of guitar butt plugs. Now, I'm very dangerously low on new old stock cream colored, man, but I'm going to have to use one. I'm an authenticist. Like authenticity, man. We're going to put that in there as good as we can, man. We just take one of these bad boys and we just hit it in there all the way, man. Gently, gently, gently. I see when we're installed. Peace be with you. Look after yourself. Peace be with you. You see that? You see that? That's how it's done, people. I'm proud of myself. So now it's time to reconnect, man. Join together with the band, man. Stop fucking around. Time is nigh. See this, man? We only got like 3/4 of a neck pocket. You know what I'm saying? This is where you generally would put a shim. So in this case, we only need a small shim because we need a, popsicle size shim if like we could put it here, but we can't put it there. So you know what I mean? Mathematically, we're just going to take this, piece of cardboard, fold it over 2 or 3 times, man. Maybe just 2 times. Tape it down here, a little piece of masking tape. Screw this guy back together. Now, a little helpful hint about these screws, man. They usually have this double grommet set. And the grommet's got like a little grommet inside of it, man. This grommet's like slightly more shallow than that grommet. If you take them out and like confuse it, always remember, man, the top grommet's going to have a little bit more like corrosion on these older ones. The bottom one's going to be nice. So that's a good way to remember. You know what I mean? If you fucked everything up, man. That's bad boy, man. That bad boy, man. It's a big screw, bruh. Let's screw it up, man. Let's get screwed. See when we reconnect it, man. Recapitated, man. Renectified. Let's get naked. Yes, you know the song, people. Reunited and it feels so good. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So we only got 5 of these guys. Remember that, man? We had the broken tooth, man. I went through the drawer. I thought for sure I had another one of these in the drawer, man. I was like, you know what I mean? You gotta be shitting me. I don't have another one. I have one with dots. This one does not have a dot. Black ones. I had this guy. Like he's got a ball head. Look at your ball ass head, man. Your head's all fucking bald, man. So I'm just taking like a sanding block right here. Maybe a little bit better one, you know what I mean? Stronger grit. Get his head down, man. I'm gonna shave your head down, fool. Anyway, man, I'll see you when that's perfect. Do you see that? Do you see it? Can you see it? Are you willing to see it with me? A little bit of elbow grease. Of course, a little bit of sandpaper, man. You know what I'm saying? We're back on the road to success. So let's search the string pile for a suitable G for these beautiful Thomas Silks, man. Get this old girl strung up, man. You know what I mean? Bring you back to life, man. That's what I do, man. I'm the guitar whisperer. Peace be with you. Ooh, look after yourself. Ooh, clam shots. Ooh. And there it is, folks. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know what I'm saying, just leave a comment. I'll explain myself, man. I am literate. You know what I mean? I can write. I'll explain whatever you need me to say, man, in a literate, formary fashion, man. So I actually used an electric guitar string. I used a nickel bright on here. Fender, man. This is nice and ringy, man. Nice guitar, man. It's a heavy guitar. This is a heavy old sucker. This weighs like 5 pounds, man. It's pretty heavy for an acoustic guitar. The biggest guitar we've done together was that Dreadnought that Ibanez. Remember Christopher? The football sticker? Just look up Ibanez, man. That was a good episode. That thing only weighed 4.5 pounds. You know what I'm saying? This thing's made out of like titanium wood or something, man. Lieutenant Dan's leg, man. So it looks good, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything came out according to Hoyle. According to hole. According to hole, man. According to my hole. I don't have anything else to say, really, at this point. You know what I mean? I'll think of a couple stories, man. Sure I can. Because I don't know a song to play. I'll think of a story. We'll sit down. We'll talk about it. We'll listen to this guitar, man. Peace be with you, man. And there it is, folks. The Airline, made by Kay. Auditorium size. Catalog or store model. I don't know exactly where this particular model was sold, man. Probably through the store or the catalog, or both, maybe. But it's a beautiful instrument, man. And when I say instrument, I mean instrument, man. A lot of these 50s guitars, especially harmony guitars you play, it sounds like a little shoebox, like a joke, man. So you're playing like a cigar box or something like that. This sounds like a real instrument, man. You know what I mean? It's just beautiful, man. It's just... And now that we put that little shim in there, man, that little booster seat, the action is beautiful, especially up here, man. Gorgeous, man. So let's get on with my story, man. I always tell little stories, man. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. Here's a little story for you, man. Back when I was in college, man, we used to have this like Animal House kind of crew, you know what I'm saying? We all just sort of hung out, man, partied, like, you know what I mean? And my boy Bass Mark, he had this house out in Long Branch. My cousin Hartman was living over there, Bass Mark, a whole bunch of other people, and this dude Brad, my boy Brad, man. Back then there was this club that we used to love going to, man, called the Trade Winds out in Seabright. Now the Trade Winds started off as like a rich, like, you know what I'm saying, like a beach club, like a private beach club for like the people out in Rumson, you know what I mean, all people with money, ferry and shit. And they, you know what I mean, in the 50s and 60s, that's what they did, man, little cabanas and shit, you know, private little part of the beach, you know what I'm saying. But like late 70s, 80s, they built like a big nightclub there, man, Valhalla. It was like, you ever been at Jenkinson's, man? It was like Jenkinson's, like Donald Trump style, man. It was like all luxury, like, you know, swimming pools all over the place, hot tubs, bars outside, and you go out on the beach. It was just a great, wonderful place, man. It got torn down, of course. They built like $1 million condos there. Hey, man, nothing lasts forever. This place, Trade Winds, was fucking bomb, man. But it was kind of pricey, you know what I mean? Like, they all had cover charges to go in there every night. And there are a lot of cool bands playing there, because it wasn't just a club, man. It was like a venue, you know. It was a big stage in there, all kinds of bars. It's the first time I ever, you know what I mean, went out and like we were drunk. I remember I went to Trade Winds to see Squeeze, man. It was the first time I ever went there, you know. I mean, I was bombed out doing a show, man. You know what I mean? The last show I ever saw there was Glenn Tilbrook, man. That was like a 10-year span, man. But anyway, enough about me, man. Let's talk about Trade Winds, man. Let's talk about my college period, man. So there was this dude, like I was saying, my boy Brad. He had like a gold VIP card for the Trade Winds. You know what I'm saying? Now, the regular VIP card for the Trade Winds, you can get yourself in there free of charge, any event, you know what I mean, any club night or whatever. You know, and you had to turn it in every year, you know what I mean, a certain date, you know what I mean, there's some kind of promotional shit, blah, blah, blah. The gold card, man, is like never expired, and you could go in and you could bring a +1 too, man. So Brad went to the Trade Winds a lot more than he actually wanted to, man. I was like, hey, Brad, what you doing tonight, man? You know what I'm saying? And it was weighing on Brad heavily, man, because you know all kinds of people coming out, hey, man, I'm gonna be your +1 tonight. And poor Brad, man, we were a whole Animal House crew, man. Now, he got this card from my cousin Mike Hartman, his best friend. He ran the club, man. He was like the general manager over there, man. And he gave him this card, man. So, I mean, it was like, but he was like kind of hard to get a hold of. Now, he was, you know what I mean, out of college. He was running this club, man. Nobody even seen him. But one time, Brad and I were at this bar called the Park Hill. We ran into him there, man. We cornered him. We got him all drunk. Here's some Jägermeister, bro. We all fucked up in the corner, man. We were laughing, telling jokes and stuff. You know, he knew my cousin real well, so I had all kinds of things to banter on about and stuff, you know what I mean? So he was about to leave, and he's like, and Brad's like, hey, man, why don't you give Bobby G one of them gold cards, man? So, yeah, you got it, Bobby G, you got it. So he goes out to his card, man. You know what I mean? He looks at me, he's like, oh, man, I don't have no card, man. He's just, God bless this guy, man. You know what I mean? He got his wallet out. He got a platinum card out. Now, the platinum card, only like the beach club members had one of these cards, man. And, of course, him, because he ran the club. You know what I mean? Like, this was like, you could bring like +5 or +10. You could get $2, any drink you wanted, $1 well drinks, man. It was incredible. It was incredible, this card. Platinum card, man. He gave it to me. He's like, this is for you, Bobby G. And Brad's like, what the fuck, man? You give that to me, man. I was like, no, man, it's for me, man. So me and my whole crew, we went to the Trade Winds a lot, man. Like a lot, man. I still have that card somewhere, man. The platinum VIP card for the Trade Winds, man. Anyway, go back to the fucking Space Mark and Brad in their little house out there in Long Branch, man. They used to have something that we didn't have at my fucking party house, man. They had a bunch of girls living there, actually 2 girls. But when you're coming home from the trade winds late at night without a girl, man, those 2 girls better than no girls. Now, one of those girls had a boyfriend, she was never there anyway. But the other girl, man, you know what I'm saying, didn't have a boyfriend at first, man. So we all kind of half musicians and stuff, all we get together, man, trying to serenade her, man. Brad, he wasn't really that much of a musician, but he was like on the radio station for the college, man. So he was almost a musician, man. He wrote some songs too about a guy that knocked the head off the statue. You know what I'm saying, man? And a fraternity hazing incident, man. Famous statue, Wilson Hall, man. But I'm not talking about the Brad anthology, man. We're talking about Bobby G today, man. So anyway, we used to get together, man. We get there like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and she'd be like, I'm going to bed, man. And we'd be going all together, man. We'd be, Carolyn, don't you go to bed, Carolyn. Don't you go to bed, Carolyn. Don't you say good night, Carolyn. You know we shouldn't fight, Carolyn. Yeah, chicka 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 chicka. Carolyn, don't you want to stay, Carolyn? Won't you look my way, Carolyn? Don't you go to bed. Hey, man. Sometimes it worked, man. Sometimes you didn't go to bed, man. Peace be with you. You know what I mean? I want to also tell you that I recorded a version of that song in 2004. Baseball and I, we rented a luxury, like, timeshare suite. And then on a beach in Puerto Rico, man. San Juan, man. There was a Ferrari in the garage, man. It was incredible, man. We recorded an album down there. We recorded that as one of the bonus tracks, man, for that album. I'll put the link down below. You got nothing else to do. It's on YouTube. You don't have to pay for nothing, to download nothing. You just listen to it if you want. If not, I'm not gonna be mad at you, man. I'm not counting all views, man. I don't care, man. Anyway, man, when I was there, Baseball, Puerto Rico, we went to this club. And you ever hear of Weezing and Yandel? They were just starting out back then, man. Baseball and I were talking to these girls at this club, man. And Baseball was trying to be cool because he didn't speak no Spanish at all. So he flashed his $100 bill at the bars. He bought like $20 worth of drinks. And we see Weezing and Yandel coming. Oh, that's the dudes from the stage, man. And Weezing, man, the tall dude's like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? And he, you know, took all Baseball's change, man. Because Baseball had the money out on the bar, you know what I mean? Like, you know, essentially trying to be cool in front of the ladies. And as soon as Baseball notices all that Weezing stole his money, we turn around and Weezing and Yandel stole our girls too, man. It's a true story, man. Both are true stories. You can track down Brad and Baseball, man. Good luck, man. Anyway, rest in peace, trade winds. Montgomery Ward Airline. God bless you, man. Next week, we might have a special sequel, man. We might have a special sequel. If there is a next week, which I doubt. Peace be with you.